So my guest is a former teacher. I always try to remind him of that. Is former party national officer, and now he's Minister for Sports and Recreation. He's Member of Parliament for Buem in the Oti region. The Honorable Kofi Adams is my guest. You're welcome to Face to Face.
Thank you, my brother.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, in this era where 188 people are looking for a position, few are called, few are chosen, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. At least you passed my village on your way to your constituency. So I would say that I need to have a minister driving past my village.
Well, a lot of ministers drive past your village. And a lot of ministers and presidents have driven past your village.
But congratulations. How has it been? I see now your beard is becoming grey, your mustache is grey. Is it the stress? They say sports ministry is mafia. Have you started suffering already?
Oh, I've heard that, but I haven't seen it since coming here. It's been normal business for me, and we all have our style, and the reaction sometimes is based on the action. So maybe my action is not generating that type of reaction that has been seen in the past, but it's giving me results. So I wouldn't say that it's mafia, but I heard that they say it's mafia, and be careful. Everybody wants you, be careful with them. They are this, they are that. But I truly have not seen what it is that they've been telling me. And truly so, I ask, so why do people say it is this, it is that? That they can set you up, they can do this, they can do that, and set you up with money and what have you. But as a minister, your duty is not supposed to handle money. Okay. You are not a signatory to the account. You are supposed to, yes, be the lead mobilizer of funds for the ministry, but you are not the lead spender of the funds. If the team is supposed to go for a tournament, there's a purse holder. If they have to carry any cash, that purse holder is the one supposed to carry it. So
normal Lamisa things.
I don't think that there should be any such reason.
But maybe because the back stops with you, and politics is an emotive subject, it's a national issue. If there's a rumbling in Brazil, as a minister, you will be forced to carry the cash and put it in an aeroplane and go there because President has said, bring back the cap, or at least perform well. And then here you are, we are not performing. It is you who will be blamed, not necessarily the president. So that's why people want to then put their hands in there and
end up. That is why, as much as possible, you have to try and avoid certain things. I always believe in engagement. Mm-hmm. Because this whole incident that happened then, the money, there was no way any player was going to spend that money there. There was no way. They were not going to spend that money there. So what I thought was the reason for the level of agitation in the camp demanding that the money be available or we are not playing.
Because if you don't get it there, you won't get it here. So get it there and then come home with it and spend it here.
So that's why I'm talking about engagement. So it's always important to, and there's one thing I've done. I've learned to engage the more, and I'll tell it as it is. If it's not available, it's not available. If it's available, it's available. If I have to use my own personal resources to let you know that this can be done, I will do so.
Before you came here and before a minister was chosen, there was talk, and I listened to the sports journalists and sports commentators, and they say President Mahama should appoint someone who come and chase the GFA. There's a cabal, someone who come and crack the whip, someone who is going to be tough and all of that. Are you that kind of person? Are you fighting the GFA?
Well, if you said they say so, and President Mahama chose me, and you conclude that he listened to them, then it means maybe if that is what he was looking for, then I am the one.
No, they are the ones who said he should do. As whether he agrees with them or not is a different matter.
There's a job to be done. He has chosen the person he feels can do the job. My duty is to see to it that his vision, the job that he wants done, is done.
Would you be an antagonistic minister towards the FA?
Well, you see, there are a number of federations that, as minister responsible for sports, you work with and you work through. Being antagonistic should be the last thing you must adapt as a leader. I see problems, but I don't see the human beings as the problems. So the first thing I will do is to let us identify the problem and to let you know that we must solve this problem. But where you continue to become an obstacle to solving the problem, then it means now you are a problem. In that case, we can deal with you as a problem. So I don't start seeing a federation, especially that I cannot change them. I didn't elect them. They have their constitution, they have processes they go through to elect their leaders. If another Congress is coming up and I feel like, oh, I want to influence things or put some strings behind the scene to get people who will fit a certain standard elected, that one, if you have the means to be able to do it, why not you do? But this one, they have been elected, they are there. You cannot come and fire them.
What's your relationship with them since you came into office?
Well, it's been cordial. We work. It may not be the best, but at least we are working.
They are not holding you somewhere?
Oh, how can they hold a minister? A minister should be the one to be able to hold everybody.
They said they are too strong. They can hold
Well,
ministers.
then
They can make ministers run around.
Oh, no.
Let you do whatever they say you should do.
You see, when you are failing, I would not sit there for your failure to get to a point of it affecting me. That is why I'm saying I start by not seeing you as the problem. I'm prepared to put my, somebody says his job on the line, my head to be chopped for us to work to solve a problem. But the day I see that you are part of the problem, you are refusing to be part of the solution, I'll treat you as the problem and I'll let the people know.
But so far you have not seen that in the FA.
Well, I wouldn't say that with what confronts me, I see the individuals as a major problem that I should focus my energy on now.
Okay.
I don't have to focus my energy on now.
Very well.
Time will tell.
Okay.
Time will tell. There will be time for elections, but for now, we are working together and we are getting results.
Okay. I've gone ahead of us. Let's backtrack and start all over. Now, Kofi Adams, Minister for Sports. I have known you for years. I didn't see that coming. There are people who say, oh, but Kofi, does he know football? Is he a sports guy? Why did President Mahama give you the Ministry of Sports? And why did he add the portfolio recreation to it? Tell us what the brief is.
Why did he give me the sports ministry? I'm sure he was looking for someone with a combination of toughness and softness. Because you need that kind of tact to handle a ministry like this. A ministry that must have like a military mentality and operate with a military precision. You need some level of toughness and softness at the same time. Be tough when you have to and be soft when you have to at the same time. So like the weather, it can be rainy and windy at the same time. Be what you would have to be. Wind will blow, rain will follow, the weather will become cool and we move on. So maybe he was looking for that person and I fit in very well. Don't also forget that the same President Mahama as candidate in 2016, I was national organizer, chose me also as the campaign coordinator. That was the first time such thing ever happened. And nobody has really been able to fit that stake and that role.
So again. He trusts your work.
He knows my work.
But did you see sports ministry as a place you would come to?
Well, if you ask me whether I thought I would be appointed a minister of state, well, I knew I had everything it takes to be a minister of state. I knew when it comes to the party, I have worked so well over the years in the party. And I knew that the NDC was going to win. I prayed to be given the opportunity to serve, and I think that my prayers were answered. It didn't matter which ministry. All I know is that as a government, we have roles to play, and wherever you are given, make sure you do your best there to make sure the government ultimately succeeds. So maybe apart from Minister for Justice, which is linked to Attorney General, where you must be a professional, you must be a lawyer, all other ministries, it's just leadership, some level of leadership that you are offering. So you can't offer legal advice if you are not a lawyer. So an Attorney General need be a lawyer to be an Attorney General and then Minister for Justice. But for all other ministries, whether finance or all the other places, it's leadership.
So are you a sports person?
Well, who is a sports person?
I don't even know.
So I was telling somebody the other day that we have left, and I'm happy that you have come here with your program to come and engage me. One thing I've observed is that we have left sports in our country, the conversation to be handled only by people who describe, maybe now that I'm part of them, describe ourselves as sports people.
Sports people.
But that should not be the case. Sports is a serious industry.
For all of us.
For all of us. Indeed, it's an industry to do with talents. That we must not leave it for only those who know how to run commentary in a particular language or the other, or who knows the individual players of just one sport to run affairs of sports in our country. We must all be interested. Your platform, the kind of incisive questions that you ask of all the other sectors, you must do same for sports. Don't leave it for sports panorama. Don't leave it for sports.
They are looking for
Bernard's program.
Breakfast show.
The breakfast show and then the evening point of view. He shouldn't leave sports for only the sports, but he should talk about sports also on that platform. He must be interested in sports because sports, look, the world today, sports ecosystem put together is over 700 billion. In few years, it will hit 1 trillion. Just 2 competitions, the World Cup and then another tournament alone, is going to generate more than 65 billion just next year when we go into the competitions. So sports is not a place that you should just leave for some people. Okay. It's an area that all of us must be interested because it is for the development of the young ones.
For what it's worth, I'm a swimmer, so me too, I'm a sports person.
You're a sports person,
so I'm a sports person, and I play Owari.
So you see, there are many.
Which is what I'm going to come to. So that's what they call the lesser known sports. And I'll ask you what your plan is for that area. But help me understand the recreation part of your ministry. What is that supposed to be? Are you going to be putting up Laver's bench on lawns in Accra for us to go and sit and do lovey-lovey?
What it is that sports per se is perceived and seen as a competitive activity. But in that competitive activity, there is that same sport or others that are done only for the joy of it, for the entertainment of it. Not necessarily because you are competing to win. Football, for example, is a competitive sport. But same football can also be played as recreational for fun. So in order to have mass participation, you would have to have the recreation part of it.
So you end up monetizing recreation?
Well, you monetize it also for health reasons. Indeed, the number one thing many countries invest in sport is health. Because when you do it, you tend to reduce a lot of non-communicable diseases. Even for communicable diseases, the spread is more for those who have underlying situations. And many underlying conditions will arise as a result of lack of activity. When COVID came, for example, many who suffered it to the point of death were those who had underlying conditions. And what are some of these underlying conditions? Some who are overweight, some who have pressure-related issues, some who have, and all these things are lack of activity-related lifestyle. So when you engage in sports and recreational activities, the more you do walking that you see as recreation, you do ampe, the worries, the this, anything that exercises you, it tends to reduce some of these non-communicable situations.
Okay. So when we say Ministry for Sports and Recreation, the aspect of recreation, what are the key thematic areas that you deal with, or what are the things you are looking at?
So every sport it's also recreational sport. That's all that I want to say first. So we can play football for recreation. It's not only the ampes or the worries or the drafts that are considered as recreational sports, or walking, just taking a walk around, or tug of war, those simple ampe, and then those traditional ones that are called recreational. Even the competitive ones can also be used for purposes of recreation. So the recreational part is to encourage mass participation, like the Keep Fit clubs, the weekend walks that people do. Take, for example, if we have to develop the Efua Sutherland's Children's Park to a park where a number of activities will be happening and parents will be there, the adults have their side where they play, the kids have their side where they play. Such things bring
So what are you focusing on?
And I have told a number of chiefs that I have met that, you see, the palaces are not big just for assembling people and punishing them for doing one wrong or the other. The palaces are designed the way they are designed also for recreational activity. So once a while, chiefs should be able to open the space for recreational activity. Get some ORA, get some draft, get some this, and let the community gather at the palace yard and have this kind of recreational activity. You will see how the community will relate with you, the chief. Okay. They will relate with you better. And that's why I loved it when I saw a video of Otufo Osetutu visiting they were playing some draft, Abu and this competition, and he was there himself. I love that, and I've always been watching it. And I want to encourage a number of chiefs to get involved and open their space for such things.
So are there major projects you intend to embark on, specifically on the recreation side? Let us do more sports, but the things you've mentioned, are there some things you're focusing on doing?
Yes. There are a number of things that we're focusing on. First and foremost, we want to encourage the immediate ones, low-hanging fruits, is to encourage a number of Keep Fit clubs to be established. And of course, when they are established, they must undergo proper training and have their programs that they do. We want to see, in collaboration with Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development, and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, also see the parks that exist in various metropolis, municipalities, and districts, and see how we can calibrate and redesign them for purposes of recreational activity. We will also be working in collaboration with Ministry of Health to also do this number of things. Then we intend, as part of both recreation and sports, to have multi-purpose parks. And we want to invite corporate world, both public and private, to partner in doing this. That those times when I was schooling in my holy village in Tetema, we had a basketball park. We had a volleyball court. Indeed, we had other smaller courts. The classrooms, they would shift the decks, and table tennis was being played in the classroom.
And four corners.
Today, all that is vanished. We need to bring that back to life. So individuals should be able to, your community at the junction in Asuto, you should be able to build a multi-purpose.
We have a big
park.
school park. Please come and build for us.
No, so I'm saying you have the platform, mobilize.
We'll bring a proposal.
So that small park, there can be basketball court, there can be volleyball, there can be handball.
And not just football.
And not just football.
This is
And
face
not
to
just
face.
football.
This is face to face on Channel One TV. My guest is the Honourable Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, is MP for Buem. I was just trying to understand the general plan with his ministry in terms of recreation. We'll come back. We'll talk about sports, and of course, the Black Stars will feature, even though they keep saying to us that sports is not the Black Stars. But when the Black Stars win, we celebrate. When they lose, we all cry. I'll talk to him about that. Please stay. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on Channel One TV. Our Ghana footballers, not Ghana football, Ghana Black Stars. Since we qualified in 2006 to the World Cup, we took it for granted that it's going to be the norm. So, of course, every time we expect to qualify for the World Cup. But we didn't think we were going to fail to qualify for the AFCON, which was like maybe a mere AFCON. If we can make it to the World Cup and go all the way to, what is the round of 16, nobody really thought that we should perform so badly that we don't qualify for the African Cup of Nations. You have come to meet this particular problem. What are you going to do to uplift, first of all, the love people have for the Black Stars and also see an improvement in the Black Stars?
Well, Black Stars is what we have. So for me, that is my first message to anybody that when it comes to football, that's our topmost national team. And Ghana is celebrated for football. Yes, boxing is great for us. Athletics, to some extent, have also done something for us. But football is there, even though we haven't won the African Cup for a very long time. A very, very long time.
Before I was born.
Yes, so before you were. So we were celebrating that, we since 82, we haven't won anything again.
More than 40 years.
We've come close and then we fail. We come close and then we fail. But like you said, we started the World Cup in 2006. Then under President Kufuor, under the NDC again in 2010, we went very far. We were going to have reached, but for that Suarez.
It wasn't NDC, it was Black Stars.
You
said under the NDC. I just want to say,
I said under President Kufuor.
We started.
We qualified.
Yes.
And under NDC, President Mills, we went also again, we qualified again.
Okay. Let's just say in 2010.
Then again in 2014, we repeated.
Yes.
2018, we couldn't make it to Russia. Then we came back and managed and made it in 2022, but didn't reach the level that we did previously.
Yes.
And then we failed AFCON for whatever reason. But one thing that is clear now is that we have psyched the players up, and they know what it is that they are up to. And Ghanaians, I think, are willing to bring back the love. And you saw it the last time they played against Chad here in Accra.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we went to Morocco against Madagascar in a away match, the interest that Ghanaians showed in the Black Stars all of a sudden have changed. So it means that something is being done right, and whatever it is, we would have to carry on. My message to the players has been very simple, that the country is behind you. Yes, criticism, we will criticize you, because if all of us are saying only good things about you, then it's not normal. Some people must see something completely wrong and should be ready and willing to voice it out, irrespective of what the consequences it will be. So if you are unfortunate to hear the criticism, just multiply that by 100, and that is the number of persons who are saying the good things, they're praising you. Because mostly in this world, praises are not normally reported. So have that at the back of your mind. Know that when you lift your leg to kick a ball, that over 30 million Ghanaians have their hands holding your leg to support you. If you want to head the ball, don't be afraid that the speed at which the ball is coming may be too much for me. Have the confidence that Ghanaians have their hands behind you, supporting your head to head that ball. this is what you should see. If you have been selected, don't listen to anybody who says that you are not the most qualified. See yourself as the best, and that you are indeed the best, and get out there and play that way. And we shouldn't make it look like they are playing for the money. Truth be told, some of them, the money they earn in a week, if they say we should pay them that money,
we cannot.
In a month, they are giving us a whole month to pay that. Maybe it should take us 2 or 3 months to pay what they earn in a week for a month. We should take 3 months to pay. We cannot. 1 or 2 years may be earning more for appearing for the nation and winning than they will do in their club. Of course, the local ones that we select, I don't think they earn that much. So for them, at that level, they may be earning. But even they are not playing because of the money.
It's good you mentioned the local one. You've previously talked about focusing a lot more on local talents than the foreign ones. It's easier than said, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easier to say than to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
I really do not.
What specific steps are you going to take?
When I say so, it isn't like I don't want foreign-based players to. I don't care where they are once they are the best. But all that I'm saying is that let's create the opportunity for the local ones to also be the best. Don't make things difficult. Don't put obstacles in the way of the local ones in terms of their training, in terms of opportunities, and say they are not good. So, as an FA, as a nation, let's create that opportunity. Let's make our local leagues competitive.
You see, the problem with our Black Stars is that they are managed by the FA and funded by the government.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Because you are just supposed to provide money. How they run it is a different matter.
No,
how involved how involved are you going to be? And can you whip the FA itself and say, choose this and this?
I have a different view. Well, we cannot whip a coach to pick this or pick that.
But we are told that happens.
When you are a coach and you allow yourself to be subjected to that, it means you have even failed right from the word go. And when you are an FA and you do that to a coach, you are a failure. Even if people have not seen it out there, see yourself as a failure and shame on you. And if you are, it's worse when you are a minister and you decide that that is what you want to get involved in, then shame on you, a very big shame on you. Yes, you can be involved in the selection of the coach. That one, as a minister, I will not encourage you to say that, oh no, I won't be involved, I'm leaving the FA alone to go and do. No, you must be interested in the selection of the coach.
Even if the FA tells you, no, this is our
but the FA cannot tell you that is their. Are they the ones who are going to pay the?
But they do the head hunting.
And I'm saying that they cannot do it alone. Indeed, in every contract, the Attorney General is supposed to have a representative there. So the system where the FA goes to sit and sign contracts and bring it for government to pay without the involvement of maybe the ministry and the Attorney General is wrong.
They will report you to FIFA and say you are interfering.
No FIFA will ever say you are in national team. Your national team that you are paying the coach and they say you should not have a say in the selection. No. Which FIFA will say that or CAF will say that?
But how would you have the say? So we've heard that there are people in the FA or somewhere else who say to the coach, bring this person to come and play. Your plan is bring the best. It turns out that the best are not called because the best don't belong to someone's list.
So you must encourage the coach to be independent.
Can he?
That is why you, the minister, who have the overall responsibility, must not get involved in such things. That's why, for example, as a minister, I'm happy I'm not maybe the deep sports person.
You don't have
football.
I
don't have a club that I would say that I want my players to be selected, and it should be that way.
So you are independent enough.
Should be very independent and be able to encourage the coach, so he will not listen to pressure from anywhere. But if you have that interest and you are pushing it, you cannot stop others. It becomes difficult for you to stop. Can you say to us that
Kofi Adams will not be interested in the future in who features in the Blasters?
The coach will become stronger when he knows that the minister says that do the right thing.
Promise us that you will not have an interest in any player joining the Black Stars.
I will have interest in good players joining Black Stars.
But you won't lobby for someone to put
I'm
when
not
they
going to lobby that take this, or I would open the space. You see, that is why, for example, even for our leagues and the rest, we have been pushing as a government. And if you listen to President Mahama when he addressed the nation through Parliament, he talked about school sports. And let me salute Citi FM and then Channel 1 TV for the things you do with athletics. So I'm so happy that what government was failing, you picked it up and you have done it the way you have done it, and you are running it continually. And I want to salute you guys for that. But now we want to pick up that responsibility and to make sure that school sports is organized and organized well, so that the talents at its budding stage can be unearthed and then raised and built, and you grow it, if possible, even through the academicals. Sometimes somebody may start as a great swimmer, but a good coach can turn that swimmer into a great footballer. Somebody may start as a sprinter, sprints, and a coach will see that, look, looking at his structure, I can train him to become a great footballer who can run with the ball very well.
So he's not an athletics guy, he's supposed to be a football guy.
He's supposed to be a footballer, or can use that athletic thing in him or her
to propel the football,
to become a great footballer.
Very well. Okay, we've talked about Black Stars, but the big elephant in the room for Black Stars a lot of the times is the budget. The president said, display the budget, let everybody know. You are supposed to let us know the budget, and you are hiding it. You are sitting on the budget. Is it under your drawer? What's happening?
You will know it
when
the time. You will know it.
The president said, let it be public.
And I'm saying that I will make it public.
When?
Why? As national team cease playing.
No.
So,
but we should know what we are working with.
We have next assignment in September. We are going to play. We have matches that we are going to play that the nation will be called upon to finance. We surely will make it public.
But even government budget, the national budget for 2025, it's a public document.
And I'm saying, but who says that this one will not be public? And I'm saying it will be public.
When?
And I'm saying that we have a match in September.
Yes.
When the FA presents, because they have to do the draft and bring, then I will sit and say, no, this one and this one, I don't think that it should be in. We cannot be paying for this. If there is any expenditure, FA, spend it from your other resources.
Okay.
Because after all, there are donors who donate, who fund some of your, so spend it from that. This the state cannot. Then they will go back and bring a revised draft, which then you will take to either the chief of staff or to cabinet for discussion and approval. Once it's approved, then you can now make it public. So it will be unfair to make a draft budget public.
Okay, so this is that's for September. What about the previous?
No, I'm talking about, so for the September one, when it comes, before the matches, we have enough time.
You share with that.
There's no way I'm going to allow the FA to delay in presentation of a budget for the September round of matches.
Okay.
They have to make sure that they bring it, maybe latest, it should be by, in May, we have a friendly. We have a Unity Cup, Ghana, Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica are playing. So winner plays winner, and loser plays loser, kind of, for a Unity Cup in London. Immediately we return. I should expect the first draft for the next round of qualifiers to be ready. Okay. That's March day 7 and then 8 to be ready.
Okay.
And to enable me look at it, ask them to rework it so that whatever they bring and approval is given can be published.
And then you publish it. Very well. We'll look forward to that. Talking about the recruiting the players and playing well, they need a good working pitch. After the qualifiers in March, you had cause to close down the stadium in Accra and Kumasi for renovation works. When should we expect these to be reopened?
We haven't really closed down because the experts have not indicated to us that they need a closure to be able to do the work that must be done. Okay. If they come up to say that, well, what we see now, we should close it, we will close it. But so far, games can be played whilst work is ongoing.
But is the work ongoing?
Yes, there's a lot of work happening.
Is there a timeline that we're working with?
Well, I wish we had the resources to be able to finish everything within the shortest possible, but we do not have that. So we have to be working briefly. We do the washrooms, you do the lighting system, the drainage system that have to be worked on. There's some back metal that holds the back. It's not really part of the integrity of the stadium, but it was something to decorate the stadium. But now, because it's metal and it has rusted over the years and no maintenance, it's now falling off. And that was why they recommended that that area, there shouldn't be any human habitation, because you don't know when another one will fall. And it's very heavy.
Okay.
It's very heavy. So now
you're talking about Accra.
Accra.
Okay.
So checks are being done on it to make sure that the remaining ones are well held by the bolts and nuts. As for Kumasi, CAF has banned us from using it because for so many other reasons. The area that the players will have to pass through is not secured, the security zone is not perfect, and so on and so forth. The pitch is bad, and work there is huge. Work in Cape Coast is not that much. Work in Cape Coast is not that much, so we can easily put Cape Coast in order also. But in the budget, we intend to make sure that the iconic stadium, the Accra and that of Kumasi, is done. And we surely will add Cape Coast. And when we find money, we will build a few more new stadia facilities.
While you work on building new, let's talk about facilities that are already in existence. Maintenance culture is a big one. Yeah. Aside these major stadia you talk about, what about other facilities, our boxing arena and other places? The one Theodore Saoko, those places, what is the plan with?
Well, for Theodore Saoko hockey pitch, for example, it was awarded on contract, virtually fully paid, but work has not been done. It's a matter that is being investigated, and we will follow through to its logical conclusion.
Any arrests?
So far no arrests, but if the contractor is hearing me, he better move back to the site and do what it is he has received money for.
Okay.
If he has not received any money also, but somebody has collected the money in his name, then he must come and say so, because the amount of money and the work that is supposed to be done is not what has been done at that pitch there.
Who is this contractor?
Maintenance. You talk about maintenance.
Give me the name of the contractor.
I intentionally didn't mention it. The contractor knows himself. Let for now.
You have to play. You have to supposed to be transparent. Give us everything you know. Then we say, "After Kofi, they finch him." But when he starts,
I'm being very transparent.
Then tell us the name of the contractor, so we can go and find the contractor. Maybe,
what I'm saying is that I agree with you about the maintenance. The issue of maintenance.
You won't tell me
culture.
who the contractor is.
And maintenance culture is a problem for
Mr.
us
Kofi Adams.
in many areas. That sometimes what we must do regularly, we tend to leave it until it goes so bad. Look, the last time we have to send people up the floodlights to go and check. If they were not magicians, I don't know how they would have. When they brought the pictures down, when you can't even turn. Nothing can be taken. If you attempt turning anything, you break the whole thing, because we have not given it any attention. We have not oiled it regularly, and we have it so close to the sea. So maintenance culture is bad. We do the same thing to our roads. A small pothole appears somewhere. Instead of sealing it, we will leave it and water will be percolating. And once water percolates, it's pressed. Then it becomes a big pothole. Then it destroys the whole road. Then we have to re-award. And meanwhile, the new ones we are supposed to do will be waiting, and we continue doing overlays for the same old ones. So maintenance is a problem. And we need to make sure that we develop maintenance manuals and follow through. It will be even an employment generation for us. Okay. Why should it be the case that we will use the pitch for a non-football activity and destroy the pitch? How much will it cost us to buy pitch covers? So that if you want to do any entertainment program, you can have the program with pitch covers. And when you finish, you only take the covers off, and your pitch is okay for your football. But we won't do that. We'll go and have Independence Day match conducted and destroy the pitch. Why?
You haven't told me the name of the contractor on Theodore Saoko.
Yes. So let's carry on.
You won't tell me.
Is that your next question?
Yes, that's my next question.
So the contractors are many, and we'll be dealing with them one after the other.
But you won't tell me their names.
You go to Tidio Shawoko, you see the signage, you see
And
the
it's written in
contractor. The contractor is written there.
What are you doing about boxing, athletic? And talking about boxing, what's the state of the committee that is set up to investigate the death
Well,
of
they are working.
the Nigerian boxer?
They are working. Today, and let me use this opportunity to wish the chairman of the committee a very, very happy birthday. Today happens to be his birthday.
When is he bringing his report to you?
I gave them 21 days to finish the report. He promised me that they may even finish before the 21 days.
Okay.
And I'm told they have gone very far, and the cooperation has been massive from all angles, and I believe that we'll get there. So, Ambassador Major Retired, happy birthday. May you live long and to see many, many things. The love you have for sports. You once occupied this seat, and you want this ministry to continue to champion and do so much. And that is the same way we wish you well on your birthday.
This is Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. I saw that Kofi Adams has the jersey of Kotoko in his office. I've been fighting him why he doesn't have that of House of Oak. He said that's his choice, which means that even if he likes any of the EPL clubs, he's not necessarily displaying them here. So we'll come back. I'll ask him about our own GPL. He says it is in a sorry state. How is he going to resuscitate it? Please stay. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. Minister for Sports and Recreation. You said...
Kotoko.
Mm-hmm.
They saw me as one of their own, and they came and did a presentation, and I'm happy about that.
And I will display,
and I will display it. Yes, they brought me their new jersey and then their everything. Okay. If any other club also feels that I am the Minister for Sports and Recreation, and they want me to have their jersey and they come, there's no way I will send them out.
Dear phobia. Nyewa jersey akeba because ekeba display o fine nyewa jersey akeba. Let's proceed. What are you doing? You said that our Premier League is in a sorry state. I mean, it's not you saying it, it's a fact.
They are struggling to get even funding.
What are you doing about it as a minister?
You see, we want to get the love back. We want to get the numbers back to the stadium, and we are using all kinds of strategies. Some of it I cannot disclose now, but we are also working seriously on funding, and we are working also on coverage, and to make sure that there's coverage for and a certain level of remuneration to the players, and if possible, some level of contract that will be signed by some players who have stayed in the club for a certain level of time, that they, like loyalty contract, they will stay there for the rest of their play, and in return they will be given some level of support after they retire. So we are doing so much to be able to keep the stars, and the school sports system that we want to do and the academicals will also unearth a lot of early talents and to feed them into the Premier League system. I'm going to have a discussion with the FA to see if they cannot engage CAF and we be allowed to allow younger age persons below the 18s and the rest to play in the professional league. Some countries, I think, have done in the past. If the CAF and FIFA rules allow, if we do that, you'll be able to get players playing for longer time in a club, and by so doing, the fans can identify with that player and they want to go to your games because of that particular player they identify with or who is coming from their locality. But as it stands now, few years of play and they are leaving. So there's no consistency. There's nobody there.
They are leaving because of money. What can you do about that? You can't.
So that's what I'm saying. So let them play longer. And when they are playing longer, you can get the love in there and possibly you generate more money. If you're able to generate more money, you pay them more.
Because it appears that our league clubs are essentially stepping stones to Europe.
Because they are not able to generate anything. Gate proceeds even cannot sometimes pay the charges they are supposed to pay even for the facility that they are renting to play that match. If, for example, Hearts is playing in, say, the Accra Sports Stadium, what they are supposed to pay, what they get from these proceeds, they can't even pay. So they may have to look for money somewhere else to possibly pay for the lightning, assuming they have to play under the floodlights and what have you. So it's quite expensive to run football.
Hooliganism. We've seen that lately a lot.
Yeah.
The recent one was last week.
It's problematic.
The thuggery, the attacks.
It's problematic. What I want to tell the fans is that, you see, when an officiating official does something that you disagree, there are processes to get that settled. It cannot be settled through hooliganism. When you take the law into your hands, you rather make your case a bad one. Sometimes people will no longer look at the good case that you had. They will be looking at the bad thing that you did. So protest. Make a strong case. And there are systems in place to be able to rule even 2-3 weeks after a match is played. If they observe that what the officiating official did was wrong, there have been so many evidences to show that in the past such actions have been taken. So don't take the law into your hands and decide that you want to beat an official.
But what if we remember ANAS number 12 and we know that referees who collect on the side to do whatever they do, and that's what possibly makes the fans angry and decide that after all the guy has gone to collect money, so let's fight.
And I'm saying that, well, the number 12, it didn't show, they didn't report because they didn't have any evidence. But now if you have video evidence that a decision that was taken as a penalty decision was not a penalty decision, or a situation like this where you were shown another red card or a yellow card, a second yellow card resulting in a red card was not supposed to be the case, you can always petition. And I believe that they will go into it. You don't take the law into your hands and decide to engage in such acts. But the officiating officials also must stop all these things that is alleged that they do. Because consider that license A referee or license B, you have gone through all this only to go and take something little to destroy a game that we love so much. No, you can't survive through such means.
The last major tournament we hosted in Ghana, the Africa Games, you have been sitting here as minister for a few months or a few weeks. You've complained about what happened or what went down in the African Games. Have you been fully briefed on what happened? How bad is the books of the Africa Games and what's happening so far about dealing with the wastage or loss of money?
The books doesn't look good. We still owe a lot of people and they still come here. And one is surprising that, and some of the infrastructure that was built with the kind of money that was spent. At the time we built Botima, spending almost $150 million. Other nations were building Olympic-sized stadium for 120. But what we have there is not up to Olympic size. Unfortunately, we've spent that much. But we must make sure we protect it. We protect what is left of and make sure that we don't let it to deteriorate again. And we should be able to produce the best out of the sporting activities that can be done in Botima. It's a matter that is still being investigated by the National Investigations Bureau. They have asked questions of many persons who are supposed to answer. And so I leave it at that until they finish their investigations, then we take it up. But it's not a good story. We are working hard to see if, God willing, Ghana will be able to host the U20 in 2027 to commemorate our 70th anniversary. You know, Ghana will be 70 in 2027. Maybe the previous administration should have pushed hard for us to host the AFCON 2027 to commemorate 70th anniversary of Ghana's independence. Unfortunately, that was not done, and we've lost that opportunity because it's been given to 3 nations to host. I think Kenya, Uganda, and I think Tanzania. So it's 3 nations that are hosting. So we've lost that. We are working to see if we can get one of the junior sides, at least U20, to be able to host that to commemorate our 70th anniversary. And
we need to wrap up now. We are going to the World Cup in 3 countries, including Big Brother America. Yeah. Many people see it as a stepping stone to getting the visa and maybe the green card. You are the minister. In the past, we've had scandals upon scandals about visa relating to going to a tournament. Would Kofi Adams say to us and promise us here that his hands are clean in this matter and he will not be involved? And when it's all said and done,
Omar,
that's
I don't even want to. My hands will be clean, but it doesn't mean that we must not facilitate people to attend to such tournaments. Nations that host such tournaments must also understand that they must open up for lovers of the sport to also come and have a feel of it. Some level of truancy may happen, but I sitting here cannot tell that this person will go and want to stay longer than maybe the visa have allowed him or her. That much I cannot tell, but I assure them that as much as possible, we will not allow persons who we know right from the word go that this is their motive to go through the process. We ourselves will put checks and balances in place to reduce and eliminate such persons as much as possible. But when they get there also, they must also put systems in place to make sure that people who come in as much as possible return back to their home country. And I can assure you that so far, Ghanaians, like the Unity Cup thing, a lot of Ghanaians who have expressed interest, none of them is wanting to go and stay there. But just to go and have a feel of the game there and come back preparing as a curtain raiser for the final phase of qualification and, of course, the World Cup.
Will government fly supporters to the World Cup?
No, government will
you
not
won't send
fly.
party supporters
No,
to
government will not. Following the Justice Jamefe Commission of Inquiry report, government was stopped from carrying supporters.
And it will not happen.
Well, it happened under the previous administration when we went to Cote d'Ivoire,
yes.
where government money was spent in taking supporters there, and it's a matter that will have to be investigated and people involved have to be punished.
And you will not do that?
I don't think that government must spend government money flying people. We can raise money from the corporates to send supporters, but not government money.
Honorable Kofi Adams, former teacher, former spokesperson for Jerry John Rawlings, the late, former general secretary.
I'm still a teacher. I'm not a former teacher.
No, you don't. Now you earn more than teachers.
No, but I'm a teacher.
Okay.
Teaching is not only in the classroom.
It's fine. I will not challenge you. I was just signing out. Allow me.
So
I was mentioning all your portfolio.
Call me a former teacher. I'm a teacher.
Okay. Kofi Adams, once a teacher.
No, a teacher.
A former classroom teacher. Okay, fine. Former classroom teacher, Kofi Adams.
Well, I'm still a room teacher.
Okay.
Now we are in a room and I'm teaching, so we can convert this to a classroom.
Please, the people of Bohem, thank you so much for voting my friend Kofi Adams and also President Mahama. Congrats. Thank you for making him Minister for Sport. Thank you. This has been Face to Face on Channel 1 Television. I am Omar Sandamado. We'll be back next week.